Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. I'm at the BD&Y show at the Javits Center in New York, first day of the show, and I'm in the Shaw Hospitality space with Robert Stuckey, the Global Director of Hospitality. Robert, how you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me, Kemp. I really appreciate it.
We'll get into what you're talking about here at this show. First, a little background. How many years have you been at Shaw?
It'll be 4 in December.
How long have you had this role as Global Director of Hospitality?
I started with Shaw about 4 years ago as the director for the segment, and it's been a great journey so far with Shaw. I came from the hospitality division. I used to work for IHG, among others.
So we talked to the people in New York, we talked to the investors, and we're hearing that Shaw Hospitality has kind of pulled ahead of the other brands out there and is potentially doing more volume, top line. So what do you attribute that to?
Well, thank you for that. We love to hear that, of course, and to be the leader. We believe we're the leader, and we're proud of that. A focus on design, a focus on service is really what we focused on in 2018 and moving into this year, is just creating a wonderful product that we deliver, and we're exceeding expectations. So you put those three things together, and when we feel like we're able to beat our competition, our competition does great work, but if you can really focus on those three huge areas, and I think we're introducing wonderful product here at the show that kind of exemplifies our beautiful design, our beautiful service. We're thinking differently. We're coming up with new innovations on a daily basis and just pushing ourselves, which allows us to push our customers to think differently as well.
So you have a team of people who focus specifically on this business, don't you?
We absolutely do. We have a lifestyle studio, so I work on the marketing team. I have a team working with me, and we have a 3-person design team that's all they do is think about the hospitality, the lifestyle, as we call it, segment, and to really push and think differently and how we attack that.
Tell me what some of the flooring trends are that we're seeing out there in the lodging sector of hospitality.
We continue to see LVT making continued influence in the guest room, without a doubt, and it taking, I don't want to say taking share, but growing in popularity, and we continue to see it, and we'd love to be a part of that discussion. We see an integrated floor solution or an insect flooring solution in the guest room as well, with an LVT and a carpet tile, or how does the carpet tile or LVT and carpet tile or LVT and broadloom, how do they work together in the guest room? So we see a lot of that. What we're highlighting here is at this show is both a hardwood experience, which is new to Shaw, and we can talk about that in just a second, but also some broadloom ideas. We see a lot of materials coming together, whether it be in flooring or in other spaces in hotels, and so we're seeing a mesh of materials and a material focus that we really like to see.
You know, most people know that hospitality, especially in lodging, is a numbers game. They depreciate based on the very day that they put it in. They know exactly kind of what the cycle is. I think LVT was looking attractive because they thought they were going to get a longer cycle out of it. Do you think that's going to be a reality?
It performs well enough to do that, right? I think it comes down to a fact of, will the brands be as excited about that product next? So right now, it absolutely could perform. And it has a lot of appeal. It has a clean look when a guest comes into a guest room. It has clean ability for the housekeeping team. And those aren't going to go away, right, without a doubt. And it could last. It just comes down to aesthetic, and if that's the look that exists in 5, 7, 10 years when they look at their next renovation cycle.
You know, there's 4 decision makers in this sector. You've got to convince the brands, like Hilton. You've got to talk to A&D. There's a whole purchasing component involved and the property owners involved. So I guess you guys hit all 4 sectors, right?
Well, absolutely. All of those people that you just mentioned, we talk to on a daily basis, and it's highly complex. That's one of the many things that makes hospitality unique, is the complex way that we all go to market, that the market forces us to go to market like that, without a doubt.
And I guess out of those 4, the one that's probably the most important depends on the project and the price point, wouldn't you say?
Any one of those segments believe they're always the most important, right? So it really depends on who you're talking to. The brands have a lot of influence, and so we have to be very mindful of our brand partners. But the A&D team is driving the way that the brands think. In purchasing, they think about how best to get the product there, and then the owner is the one that actually has to live with the product. So they all have a unique importance in that buying process.
You just mentioned a minute ago, you've gotten into hardwood. I see it here on the floor. I applaud that. I know I've been to your Create Center in Cartersville, and you've got hardwood throughout. It's gorgeous. It's in that whole biophilia realm. There's been, I guess, a little bit of an Achilles heel as far as hardwood being able to last in a commercial environment. But you guys are bold. You're coming out with it. Talk about that.
We're very, very excited about getting back into that. So we were in that in the commercial environment quite a few years back. And we just love to celebrate design, and we see hardwood in really high-end spaces, whether that be in retail spaces or hospitality spaces, in corporate spaces. And we want to be a part of that, and we know we can exceed, from a service perspective, we believe we can exceed our customers' expectations and really be excited about wood and create, again, a complete flooring solution, which Shaw is always really focused on.
It's got a little bit of an environmental story as well, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It's not an LVT. It's not a vinyl product. It's a real wood story, right? So there's a lot of sustainability components of hardwood that we're excited also to celebrate and be a part of.
So what else are you guys talking about here? I see rugs on the floor.
We have rugs here. We're introducing a collection called Forum, which is the official launch here. It's a CYP construction, a really high-low textural focus. We've been in rugs for a long time, but we haven't promoted that too heavily. But we're wanting to scream from the rooftops a little bit more that we're in rugs. So we have a lot of rugs highlighted here. So we had a lot of fun in creating different unique shapes that both highlight that we're in rugs, but also the beautiful texture that these collections, again, focus on that material product, bringing a lot of materials together into one.
Now, so not to sound like a Lynn head, but CYP stands for computer yarn placement.
Yes.
I've seen those machines run. They run slow, and a slow-running machine means a more expensive product. So, I mean, it's beautiful texture. I know you're using solution-dyed yarns and, matte luster. So, but you're going to promote this to the hospitality sector, which is price-conscious, and just kind of show them what your capabilities are.
Absolutely, and this is a custom collection. This is highlighted in the CYP construction, which isn't going to fit everyone, as you kind of mentioned, right? But this is a starting point for design, right? So you could take this, and we're not sitting on any product. It is a custom idea. So we could take it and we could interpret it to any other collections based on our customer's budget, their design preference. Maybe they don't like this colorway. We could look at a different colorway, etc. So we started here, and we'll flex it up and down as needed.
It's cheaper next minister anyway, right?
It can be, yeah, absolutely.
And you're showing black and white. Is that one of the trends going out now as far as color?
Yeah, we're seeing, a very subtle blend of color, and we're very neutral kind of palette that we've created for this, which we're really excited about. We did a lot of study, a lot of field trouble to get to where we are from a product perspective and a color perspective. Actually, a lot of time spent here in New York City looking at what is the new definition of luxury. We saw a lot of materials, like I said, coming together, and a lot of texture and a lot of this neutral palette coming together.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to me. Again, been talking to Robert Stuckey, the Global Director of Hospitality for Shaw Hospitality, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloatAlley.net.